Hey guys, this is Jason Grimm with a quick video on using the EC2 tools and API with Cisco Metapod. First, we're going to start by logging into the web UI, and where we're going to go is navigate to the project context, access and security, API access, and then we're going to download our EC2 credentials file. I've already done that over here and unzipped it into a folder called EC2. The curl token sh I created for a shortcut just to check curl connectivity. But basically what this is, if you look at the shell script here, or RC file, it just sets up your EC2 variables and keys and things like that, so that you can quickly run the commands without having to type in all of the OS tenant names and things like that each time. So if you want, what I generally do is in your RC file on your login, you can just source the OpenRC one is the native OpenStack API cred file, and then the second one is the EC2RC file that I just downloaded. Now, just to make sure that API connectivity is working, I go ahead and connect to using curl straight to the API to make sure that the token and all that stuff is running, my credentials are all working, and I'm getting good data back out of the API. Once that's done, I generally install the EC2 toolset, and that's just basically a Python CLI wrapper for the API. It's a lot easier using that if you're just doing some quick command line testing of the API. But on your platform, you could just do an app cache search or a yum search for Yucca, and well, if I can, well, I need to do that and see. So there's the EC2 tool set, created and still maintained, I believe, by the Eucalyptus team, but it was just a very early on Python CLI wrapper for the API, so it was one of those things that was just adopted and still used today. So if you look at the tools, and we can just do things like describe instances. Now, assuming you just installed it and you haven't sourced your bash RC again, you're going to want to source the Yucca credentials, or sorry, EC2 credentials. So that done, you can see some of the stuff that I put in your environment file or your environment settings. So you could describe instances. So this is the standard app output. It's the equivalent of running like Nova list against the native API. So as a test, just to make sure we've got kind of CRUD capabilities, let's go over here, and for this project I'm connected to, let's look at volumes. And I've got one volume sitting out there, and if I do a Yucca describe volumes, okay, I do see one. I do see that 10 gig volume out there. So let's do, I've already got it in the history here. Let's create a new volume. So 1 gig volume and the default zone or region of Nova. And what we should see over here, if we catch it in time, is that volume is created, and we can attach it to a system and use it just like we would any other volume that was created through the web UI or the native OpenStack API. So now that we see that volume's there, let's just go ahead and delete it. So make sure we have that capability. And that's the 1 gig one I just created. Before we delete that, let's just make sure that, and I know we're going to see it, but just make sure we do see it there, and then the ID is the same. So now let's go and delete it. And I've already got that there. So we should now see, again, if we catch this in time, showing deleting. No, it's already gone from here. And if we list the volumes again here, we'll see that it's gone. So that's the quick drive-by version of the EC2 tools. To recap, download your RC file from the web UI, source that file, make sure that a curl command is working. If you want, optionally download the EC2 toolset to give you that Python wrapper. And then source your file and start running some commands against the EC2 APIs. Thank you. I hope this was helpful. See you guys later.